Story for Godzilla is the Philippines, a mining expedition discovers a cavern that has a hatched fossilized egg, and this creature that gets called Muto by some scientists goes to a Japanese nuclear power plant and basically destroys the thing to get some radiation. Government can cover up in conspiracy, whatever, blah blah blah. Years later, it escapes, and Godzilla rises from the ocean to get it and kill it to kind of cause balance. That's just the basic storyline. There's also a storyline with a family who lost somebody at the power plant explosion and is trying to find the government conspiracy, and one of them decides to have a fight against them, this and that, and he's also trying to get back to his family at the same time. It was an okay storyline. But okay, now to the real hard stuff. I actually saw this in IMAX 3D, and I only see movies I think would be worth the price to see a movie in IMAX. And I don't really go for like 3D that much, but I just wanted to see Godzilla in IMAX. It just seemed spectacular, and it seemed like the right choice to do, and it was. And 3D was a nice bonus. It was great to see just Godzilla, destruction, everything on a giant screen with great sound. And the 3D just was a nice bonus. It wasn't, I don't really care for 3D that much, but it was just, like I said, a nice bonus. The action sequences are like the best thing in this movie. Of course, that's what we really want to see in a Godzilla movie, is the action scenes, especially with Godzilla fighting another creature. And it was great. The choreography between Godzilla and Muto was great. I think Muto is, this is just me talking, I don't know if it's really true or not, but Muto seems to be a modern version of Mothra. I guess maybe for nowadays they didn't really want something that looked like a giant moth, so they probably just redesigned it a little bit. But that's what I think it is, but I can't be entirely too sure, especially since I have never seen the original Godzilla movies from Japan. I've only seen, sadly, the American remake with Matthew Broderick. Yes, sadly, I'm only comparing this to the 1990s Matthew Broderick movie. Sadly. But I have seen clips of the original Godzilla movies. And I have to admit, the action scenes were really, really good. Like I said, especially between Godzilla and Muto fighting one another, the destruction of buildings, and them fighting, and it was just amazing. It was great. Oh, it was awesome. And we don't, at first we really don't get to see them fight, though. When they first start fighting in the, I'd say before the middle of the movie, when they start fighting, we see it from a TV screen. Somebody's watching from a TV screen, or we see it from a distance or over somebody's shoulder or something like that. We don't really get to see much, and it was kind of like, oh, that sucks, because we really want to see that. We don't really get to see the whole fight or them really going at each other until the climax of the movie, where everything is on the edge. We have to get them to kill them and this and that. That's where we get to see them, and it's, oh my god, it's a joy. Oh man, I loved it, every bit of it. It was great. And it was raining too, so it gave this great look and mood to it too. It was awesome. The CGI, I have to hand it to these people. The CGI was great. It was fantastic, especially with just little things like Godzilla coming out of the water. Like, you remember in the trailers where they shoot flares up, and the flares you see just like a building size, shape of Godzilla, and water's dripping off of him. Oh, it was great. Just beautiful. And also, being able to read Godzilla's face, like when he looks at the camera, although he's looking at Muto or something, and he just squints his eyes and looking at him, you could tell he's just kind of like, come on, come get me. It was just great, just being able to read his face and all that. And same thing with Muto too. Muto didn't really have eyes squinting or anything. He had these lights, kind of like glowing eyes that would light up, and they would change color to give different mood or something. I thought that was pretty cool. And Story, the story was okay. Like I said, it was kind of it was okay. A nice basic storyline. It kind of reminiscent of the original Godzilla, where it's just kind of like a simple storyline, and then the main thing is just Godzilla versus a monster. Um, the the character development in this movie kind of seemed okay-ish. It just seemed kind of hammy in some points, especially with well, some of our main characters. It doesn't really seem like much is going on with them. Um, but there was a lot of good tense moments between, not really like rivalry between characters, but like tense moments with like things happening, and you're not too sure if someone's gonna die or live. Um, but it was good. I mean, it was overall, when you watch the movie, it was just very well satisfying. And I have to admit, the music was phenomenal. I really like, from the first, the main title sequences. I believe the first thing that comes up is just amazing. It really gets you in that mood. Really sets everything. When the fight thing happens, go bum bum bum. It really, goes with the beat, goes with everything. Oh, it's just amazing, phenomenal. I loved it. Um, I'd have to give this movie out of 5 stars, 3 stars, solid 3 stars. I'd like to give it more, but I think 3 stars is good. It was satisfying. It was great. Just a good movie, worthy watching. Um, they have announced. I found out recently they have announced they are going to make a sequel. However, they are going to not do. They are going to do what Nolan did with the Batman movies. They're just going to focus on one movie. They're not going to go, okay, this movie and several sequels. They're just going to go, okay, what's good for this movie? And only this movie. Not this movie and this movie and this movie, this movie, this movie, or this movie and this movie, because they need to connect and this needs to connect or something like that. No, it's just what's good for that movie. And so that would be good. I mean, it would be nice to see a modern day version of of the franchise. Updated so we don't. The original ones, from what I've seen in clips, do look good. Even if yeah, it's a guy in a rubber suit, or models on a wire or something like that. It would be even those were nice and were good for its time, and are still good today. I mean, they're still enjoyable. I mean, I did like the clips that I saw. But it would be nice to see a modern interpretation of the series, even though I think this is more American than Japanese. It would be nice to have a combination of American and Japanese or something work together to make this franchise in the future. So yeah, that's Godzilla. A lot better than the American, than the Matthew Broderick movie. Way better, my God. That was a lot of fish in that one.